Welcome back to Everything Mets. I hope everyone had a great weekend. It's Josh here. Today we're just going to get into some Mets news from the weekend, go over some stuff. Steve Cohen made an appearance down at camp. New players came in at camp. So we definitely got a few different topics to touch on today. To talk about in our leadoff spot, let's talk about Steve Cohen making an appearance down at Port St. Lucie. He arrived on Saturday and made some rounds at camp. He then met up for a little bit with Sandy Alderson, and the two spent 2 hours, close to 2 hours, watching BP and some live BP. He eventually moved closer to a particular field where Taijuan Walker was throwing live BP. Francisco Lindor took some of those live ABs against Walker. Lindor did take Walker deep while Cohen was poking his head around too, so that had to look good for him. Luis Rojas also talked about just how having Cohen around the complex has brought just an extra energy to the club. And he also said the two talked for a little while on Saturday also. Cohen also walked around and talked to several players, including Lindor and Michael Conforto, who the Mets really need to start negotiating with and get signed on for the future. Just because it would be nice not to have that hanging over our heads heading into the regular season as Mets fans and just as an organization, because we need to get them locked up for the future because they're key pieces, as everyone knows, honestly. On to our next bit of news. Carlos Carrasco arrived at camp after missing the first 4 days of full squad workouts. Carrasco is among those at Mets camp who received the vaccine before arriving and was able to receive it due to his previous heart condition and leukemia battle. He underwent an additional medical screening before arriving in Port St. Lucie at the recommendation of his doctor in Cleveland, so that's why he did miss those first 4 days of camp. He's coming off a year where he was limited to only 68 innings, but he said he's ready to get back to 180 to 200 innings, which would be huge for us with the quality of pitcher he is, and with Noah being out till the summer most likely. He definitely was a bigger piece of that trade than people make it seem to be, it seems like, at least in my opinion. And he also threw his first bullpen session on Sunday, so it was good to see him finally out there and getting some work in and getting ready for the 2021 season. Kevin Pillar also spoke to the media and said he understands the situation he is in, as there's just more bodies than positions in the field, in the outfield with Dom, Nimmo, and Conforto, and then him. And honestly, it'll probably be Nimmo starting in center over him. And don't get me wrong, I think Pillar's defense is probably a little bit better than Nimmo's. And that was another thing I read, that people are saying, oh, Pillar's defense is regressing and this and that. But honestly, I still think he's a good depth player for us, and he's really going to bring a lot to the organization this year. And he even said when he was speaking that he's going to approach it as if he's just an everyday player, and that he's just less focused on personal accolades and more on winning. And he's 32 years old. He's entering into his 9th season. So in my eyes, he's a vet, and he may really push for that center field position. Even if he doesn't start, he's a really good depth piece for us. And that's what we need. We need more pieces on that bench for us to come off that bench. Because if you look at the good teams like the Dodgers, any team that's won in the past, they got pieces coming off that bench late in October. And that's what we need, because we need to make a damn World Series push with this team. On to the next piece of news. Pitching coach Jeremy Hefner was asked if any under-the-radar names were impressing him at camp. And he said reliever Jacob Barnes, who the Mets claimed off of waivers from the Angels in October, was impressing him. Barnes stayed on the 40-man all off season, so honestly, he stands a good chance at making the roster in a way because he's out of minor league options. Over a 5-year career in the big leagues with the Brewers, Royals, and Angels, he has a 4.36 career ERA. Hefner said since he's been in the bigs for some time and that Hefner has seen some good things from him, and that Barnes has been put in a great position to go out and have a great spring and potentially, honestly, make the team this year and contribute to the team and help out the squad. So there's an underrated name to watch out of the pen for the Mets this year. And in our final piece of news, 2 camp additions were also made as the Mets added the organization's 6th-ranked prospect, J.T. Ginn, the Mets' 2nd-round pick in 2020. He hasn't pitched since undergoing Tommy John early last year. He will continue his rehab down in Port St. Lucie. And finally, the team also added veteran catcher Caleb Joseph to most likely serve as depth behind James McCann and Tomas Nido. So there's another piece to add in for the depth, and he signed on a minor league contract, so assuming he's going to serve behind them, obviously. And that's it for your Mets weekend review. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more Mets content. And let's go Mets in their spring training opener against the Marlins. It's a 105. It's not on television or nothing, so you're going to have to listen to it, and I'm pretty sure it's only on the Marlins broadcast, excuse me. But still, let's go Mets, and let's get a W to start off spring training. No, it doesn't matter, but still want to get a win, obviously. So like I said, if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more Mets content. Have a great day or night whenever you may be listening, and let's go Mets.